We're joined now by Kevin Harris, who is the head rowing coach at the University of Tulsa. And Coach, a major event for your squad going down to Austin and taking on some really good foes in the Longhorn Invitational. That was a heck of a field, wasn't it?
It was a great field. Alabama, SMU, of course, Texas, our host. We're really excited that they were able to invite us down for that. Got to race Notre Dame, Oklahoma. Our friends. We actually got to fight the Battle of Oklahoma in some ways with Central Oklahoma there. It really was a tremendous field, and it helped us a lot.
Absolutely. What were you most proud of in terms of the progress of your team?
Well, we kind of buried the lead a little bit in our press release, but we swept Oklahoma, and that has never. I don't believe that that's actually ever happened. We've beaten them before, but to for the pride of the university and to be able to say, hey, look, we did this. That was a big part of our racing last weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And UCO is a good team, even though they're down a division. They're the Division II champions, so they're a very good rowing team. So I mean, to lose to them or to get nipped by them in any race is not a surprise, I guess.
Well, yeah, and they're a very good team, and they're probably going to win that championship again unless someone just comes out of nowhere. But we had our shot. We were in position to move past them in the last 250, but the weather was really tough down on Walter E. Long, and we caught a crab. We fumbled and caught a crab in the last 250 meters, and as we were moving through, we just couldn't quite get it back. But I will say this: the stern six of the boat, the crab was caught in the bow. The stern six of the boat powered through. And we're not going to let OU catch us in that part. So I was really enthused to see that because of just the spirit of the team. Even though we had that, the team was pretty aggressive about we're not going to let that last little bit kind of come through us.
So it's kind of like, you didn't have that oar in the water for the remaining parts of the race, and when you catch a crab, it's not a good thing, obviously. It's kind of like a V8 engine that's got only 6 cylinders
That's
working,
exactly right.
Is that kind of...
Yeah, well, and we weren't the only crew for that happened. Notre Dame caught one off the start in the Varsity 8 race, and they couldn't ever really recover. They were never really in their race. So I felt thankful that if it had to happen, these things happen. You throw an errant pitch, you fumble the football in football, and these things happen in sports, and we just have to be prepared for them and to do our best when they happen.
And so, Coach, that happens. Notre Dame caught a crab, and you've beaten them earlier this year,
right.
But didn't get them this time. But they're a good program as well, right?
They're a great program. I think at the Cardinal Invite, actually, our Varsity 8, we lost to them by a bit. The 2v8 beat them, but we definitely closed the gap on Notre Dame in the Varsity 8. I think Notre Dame may have beaten us by 10 seconds at the Cardinal Invite, but we were only a couple behind them at the Longhorn. So, that's progress. That's what we want to see. Notre Dame's been racing a ton. We haven't raced as much as Notre Dame, so, understanding that our team is getting better, that's good for the team. But additionally, we were actually coming off spring break practices. So we had been doing double practices leading into this regatta, which normally we wouldn't do that.
Right.
Not in this field.
But you needed to, didn't you?
But we needed the time. We needed to get out. We needed to row that much. So I was really happy with the way the team responded to that.
And we talked about it last time that we had an interview about, getting the fours going. And,
right.
And you got the fours going. They won the B final, which was good.
That's right. And I'm going to put that all on Coach Staff and Coach Hassel, right? Olivia and Carrie took the fours aside. They, kind of gave them some attention when we really needed to do that, and they responded to it. And then, getting to do those spring break practices really helped because we were able to put everybody in racing situations. And, then when they got out on the race course, actually, the A4, the Varsity 4, won their second race over Oklahoma and UCO. So that was a really good result for them.
Yeah, no question. And with the field you had there, is this a yardstick? Is this something that you use for future reference?
Absolutely, because SMU right now pretty much is the leader in our conference, and they're moving equally well with Alabama. Both those teams have moved ahead of us when we were ahead of them a few years ago. So as we look at them, that's kind of our roadmap for where we need to go. And then of course we're going to see SMU here in a few weeks, so we've got to figure out how to take some of that back. But I feel pretty good about where we are because some of that, of course, was just fatigue. Like we know what we were doing when we were down there. So the question is, can we get them rested? Can we get them ready? And then on May 16th, when we're racing the conference, can we get after and maybe flip that result?
Absolutely, and a different sort of yardstick coming up this weekend.
Right.
It's Creighton coming in. How's it different when it's a duel as opposed to a ton of teams?
Yeah, well, it's just a different circumstance. We're at home. Thankful that Creighton could make the trip down. We had to change the regatta because originally we were supposed to be last week, but then we were invited to the Longhorn, and they graciously helped us by moving the date. So, what we're going to be looking for this weekend is to take advantage of the fact that we get another competition. 365 days ago, we didn't know if we would even be rowing right now.
Right.
So the fact that we're able to line up against another Division I team that's trying to win their championship, the West Coast Conference, that's going to be really important for us because it's just more repetitions on the line, and we got to make sure that we're getting after them, because if we don't, then that's a problem, right? If they get ahead of us, we don't want that. So we gotta really get after this team this weekend.
Okay, at the Verdigris River, if you will, or at the canal, Saturday all day.
Saturday 8:30 a.m. is
okay. Starting it. Okay.
Right.
So get after it,
Yeah.
and fans get after it. Hey, get on out there. It's really fun to watch. You get out on the bluff, and you're able to see quite a bit of the course. Maybe not all 2,000
Right.
meters, but you're able to see quite a bit of the course.
At least the last half of the course.
Yeah.
And then for fans that are able to come out, please, please, please remember this pandemic has not ended. Stay separate, stay apart on the bluff. We'd love to have you, but just pay attention to the fact that we've got a medical emergency still going on in the state.
Yeah, be safe. Coach, thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Bruce.
Head coach Kevin Harris, University of Tulsa Rowing.